Glad that light's off there. Should we start again?
Okay.
We're going?
Yep.
Hi, Rick Raddatz here, and I'm glad to be here at the Denver Startup Club. Here surrounded by other entrepreneurs, and today's topic is Rick Raddatz's thoughts on startups. Now, who am I and why am I talking about this? Well, I have a history of success with startups. I have in the last 5 years probably launched about 10 different products and companies. Typically now I've gotten so good at this that it'll take me like about 5 days to 2 weeks to launch a new product or company, and we'll make $100,000 to $250,000, during our launch phase, typically a week or a month or so. And my goal is always to start up a new company that cash flows very, very quickly, hire people to run that company or that product, and then I kind of ignore it. I go on to the next business. I have someone else overseeing it, managing it, and growing it. So that's what I've been doing the last 5 years, and so I appreciate being invited here to talk about startups. The first thing you got to know if you're thinking about jumping in as an entrepreneur is that your first business, you're going to do everything wrong. And I don't mean that you'll do a few things wrong. You can do everything wrong. You're going to have the wrong product, the wrong market, the wrong partners, the wrong funding, the wrong amount of funding. You're going to do everything wrong. The analogy I like to use is I used to have a '62 Cadillac, a convertible. It was a great car. But if I wanted to show that car in like a car collector's club, I would have had to have redone every single inch of that car. But I didn't want that. I just wanted to have it as a daily driver. And so your first business, make sure that you don't set your goals too high, don't set your expectations too high. If your spouse is arguing against you because of all the risk, tell her that you know you're going to fail. Because again, your first business, everything is going against you. But now, here's why you want to do it. Your second business, now you have a reputation in the marketplace among customers and your peers and partners. You probably have a better idea of funding sources, how much funding you need, what kind of funding you need, how much of your company to give up if you need to do that. You have an idea of what products your marketplace needs. You have an idea of what marketplace you want to get into. I mean, everything is working in your favor now because of your experience. And so once that happens, here's the cool thing. You can potentially end up with what I call a perpetual motion machine. Now we've all seen these patent diagrams of people through the ages trying to invent perpetual motion machines. And these are machines, these are mechanical machines that, if only you could build one, you'd be a multi-zillionaire. Because they work forever producing energy, and if only you could do this, right, you'd be a millionaire, a zillionaire, whatever. Well, congratulations, you are within days of having your own perpetual motion machine if you do the right things here, because in capitalism, perpetual motion machines are possible. It's called a business. A business takes up a little bit of value to get going, and then it produces value if it's done right forever. There is a free lunch, and it's called capitalism. It's called business. And so I want you to think of your startup in that way. And here's the important reason why. You're thinking of this startup as separate from you. It is a machine that you are building. It is not you. Too many people, and you can learn about this in the E-Myth Revisited, a book by Michael Gerber, but too many people start up their own business thinking they're doing a business. They're actually creating a job for themselves, a job they can't escape from later on. So I want you to think about your startup here as a machine separate from you that constantly creates value for you to use as you will. Now, a couple of my philosophies about startups. I like to think big. I mean huge visions. I only want to do startups that have the potential now of becoming like $10 million, $100 million companies, because that's possible in today's magnified, leveraged age of the internet. So I want to have a big vision for what I'm doing, and that means I want to have the branding right too, because a big mistake small business owners make is their branding screams small business. I like brands that could become a big business, like Zytosoft, like Brevity. These are some of my brands, like B2B.net, something I'm launching next month. These could be huge companies someday. So I like to have branding done right. But this is a very important thing. I like to start really, really small. Big vision, small first step. I like to take my big vision and say, what is the smallest piece of that vision that I can launch really, really quickly? And I'm talking like within days. For example, my son is 12 years old. He and I are going to be working on a business this spring where he's going to hire a virtual assistant. I'm going to fund him the money for that. He's going to communicate to that virtual assistant what has to be done. That's going to cost about $15 an hour. And at the end of about 2 to 3 weeks probably, we'll have a business up and running, and then we'll launch it, giving affiliates 50% of the revenue, and I think the business will generate about $47,000 a month. Okay. Now this 12-year-old doesn't have any experience in business right now, but if you have the right business model and you know how to reach the market, especially through affiliates, it doesn't cost a lot of money, it can be done quickly, and the vision can be big, and you can start small. So again, that's the whole summary there. Let's see, going on. That's the end actually of my kind of prepared lecture here. So I only took 7 minutes and 20 seconds, but so I kind of want to open it up now for the group for responses and questions to this.